You want some benefits in this country? Well, be prepared. You might just have to prove how gay you are. Yeah, I'm not kidding. The Obamas and Hillary Clinton show off just how petty they really can be. And a little later on in the show, we're going to show you some capybara pudding. I know. If you don't know what a capybara, it's an Australia animal. They're adorable. Go look them up. They're very cute. I'm not so sure I want to see capybara pudding, though. Happy Friday. Welcome in. This is the Jay Sheldon Show, and we are live on Rumble and YouTube. Both of those platforms carry our show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And we're very happy you are along for the ride. Thank you for that. Please, if you haven't yet, hit the follow on Rumble, or if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. You just scroll over with your little mouse, hit that click, or if you're on your phone, you can just head over and hit it's even easier. You don't have to use your mouse at all. Just hit that thumbs up and you're done. And the subscribe button too. Don't forget that. All right. Oh man, I'm telling you. What a week. What an absolute shenanigans of a week it's been. It feels like it took forever to get here, but we're here, okay? All right, so let's start off with this rather odd story. If you want a utilities contract and you happen to be in California, how did we know California would be involved in this? Well, you want that utility contract? You better be prepared to prove how gay you are. As we get through yet another Pride Month, most Americans, even many gay Americans, just want to be left alone. Just want to live their lives. That's all. No special treatment, just equal treatment. If you live in middle America, that might be a little bit easier to do, but if you live in places like New York or California, until July 1st, it is all rainbows all the time. You can't throw a stick that you won't hit a rainbow of one kind or another. Well, now in California, get this, regulators think they've come up with, one more way to make life easier for the LGBT community. But first, a little test. If you happen to be an LGBT-owned utility contractor in the Golden State, you may qualify to get supplier diversity benefits from the California Public Utilities Commission. Hey, sounds great. Whoa, partner, not so fast. First, your business has got to meet a set of qualifiers from the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. I didn't even know there was one. Good morning, Marilyn. Qualifiers, you say? Well, you mean you can't just tell by looking at somebody whether they're gay or transgender? No. Turns out this is a very serious business for the NGLCG. NGLCC. There's too many initials with these people. Okay, so what are the qualifiers? You ready? They include, but not limited to, affidavit-backed letters from at least 3 people unaffiliated with your business who will attest to the applicant's LGBT status. Yes, my friend Bob is gay. Yes, my friend Brian is actually Bertha. But your friends attesting to your gayness or your uh, transgender-ishness? Not enough. In place of a letter, some evidence of what they call discriminatory action the applicant suffered because of their LGBT status. You have to prove you've been discriminated. I don't want this. Just leave us alone. Now, that discrimination could come from a variety of sources. Could be an HR report, a police report, court records. But if you come up short in any one of these little qualifiers here, not to worry. You can also show evidence of a completed or an attempted parenting and family building efforts, same-sex partner, adoption records, proof of an in vitro fertilization procedure, surrogate mother agreements. They would also qualify you for benefits. They are pressuring California, pressuring public utilities to award $663 million in contracts to LGBT-owned firms. State's official gay certification program has issued a checklist for you so you can follow along. The CPUC, which regulates privately owned utility companies, began the Supplier Diversity Program back in the 80s to promote minority and women-owned businesses. Of course, they expanded that program to include the LGBT-owned businesses as well. Supplier Clearinghouse certifies businesses under the program, and they accept letters from groups like the NGLCC for certification of LGBT-owned businesses. Now, the first obvious question is, how do you certify that somebody is gay? It's the kind of insanity that is a perfect illustration of exactly where we are in 2026, especially in June. But it gets even better. Wait, there's more. A new report from the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation is demanding that artificial intelligence developers make their product, wait for it, gayer. Yeah, AI developers, you need to be more gay. That's what they're demanding. They want homophobic speech removed from products without removing any gay expressions. The Supplier Diversity Program has gotten the attention of the Attorney General, U.S. Assistant Attorney General, I should say, Harmeet Dillon, said Wednesday she's opened up an inquiry into the program, which could net LGBT-owned utility contractors roughly $633 million a year. Money talks, folks. It is a pretty lucrative gig if you can prove it. So, use that checklist. Do we have a copy of the, it's small and technical. I don't know that you're actually going to be able to see that. Copy of a valid or municipal state license of marriage, civil union, or domestic partnership. Proof of domestic partnership health insurance. Copy of a petition for same-sex partner hospital visitation rights, and on and on and on. So, you want to get a contract for your little utility company there? You better be able to prove just how gay you are, pal. Oh, California, California. Thank you, California. No, seriously, from the bottom of my wrinkled little queer heart, I cannot possibly thank you enough for all of your entertainment that you bring to all of our lives, nearly every day of the week. Without you, we probably would barely have a show. Oh, Manischewitz. Danny, good morning. Happy Friday, last day of Vacation Bible Camp for the boys. And then we check off another week of summer. Cannot believe how fast this is going. At least there's blackout coffee to keep me going. You got it. Danny is one of our P1 viewers and listeners, and she's a big fan, as we are here on the show. One of our sponsors, Blackout Coffee. We're going to be telling you about them coming up in just a little while. All right. You remember we did the thing about Major League Baseball and the, what was it, the Cubs, who I think refused to wear the hats? Well, Atlantic League team, again, this is minor league, but nevertheless, they forfeited a game. They gave up, refused to play, and you know why? Because players refused to wear the pride jerseys. After all, this is June. An independent minor league baseball team says it is forfeiting a game because players refused to wear a special Pride Night jersey. Atlantic League Pro Baseball's York Revolution were going to hold their 11th annual Pride Night event yesterday for a game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. What a great name for a ball team. The Blue Crab, well, of course, it's Maryland, so, they got a lot of blue crabs there. Anyway, the decision, they say, wasn't reached lightly. Revolution announced a statement. Unfortunately, many of our players have refused to wear the scheduled Pride Night jersey, and the club decided that hosting the event is more important than forcing players to wear jerseys they're not comfortable with and playing the game. Revolution planned to continue with its Pride Night festivities as a free and fun celebration of recognition and inclusion, and no baseball game. Yeah, oh, that'll be good. Yay, go Revolution. Fans could redeem game tickets for another day, another game if they wanted to, or they could just come to the night and celebrate for 5 minutes and then go home. They said they were donating about $10,000 to the Rainbow Rose Center to support and further their work in making sure the York community is as inclusive as we strive to make Wellspan Park in York, Pennsylvania. As we said, Major League Baseball just had its little lily livers in a quiver over the Pride Month LGBTQNMLP plus minus two spirit whatever pride thing. Anyway, so they gave up the game. They forfeited it. There you go. Because many of the players just said, nope, we're not wearing that. Have a nice day. Hey, a quick clip. But man, you remember Roger Stone? We have not heard from Roger Stone in actually quite a long time. But I got a quick clip. This is like 25 seconds long. That's it. I just wanted to play it for you because Roger is right. The problem is not the screwball Marxist Democrats. He has come right out and spelled it out of exactly what the problem is.
Our problem are not the screwball leftist Marxist Democrats. Our problem, in a nutshell, are the gutless, feckless, weak-kneed, lily-livered, white wine swilling, country club belonging, establishment Republicans who have neither the guts nor the balls to fight for America.
Thank you, Roger. And by the way, nobody wears a pocket square quite the way Roger Stone wears a pocket square. Huh? That, my friends, is exactly right. The gutless, feckless, lily-livered, country club establishment Republicans who have neither the guts nor the balls to fight for America. Good on you, Mr. Stone. Keep up the fight. I love Roger Stone. Cool guy. All right. Moving on. It's a Friday, you know. We got to move. We got to go. We got to go. No, we're not leaving. We're still here for a while. Relax. It's about to go down. The FB freaking I is descending on LA's Skid Row over, you ready? Potential voter fraud and bribery of the homeless. Days after the June 2nd California primary, it was announced a large mail-in ballot drop from the Los Angeles Skid Row, where I'm sure voting is way up on their priorities at Skid Row. It favored District 4 Democrat Socialist City Councilwoman and mayoral candidate Nithya Raman. You know, ramen like the noodles. Not very long before Raman suddenly pulled ahead and overtook viral candidate Spencer Pratt for the top 2 slot, edging him into 3rd place and out of the running. How nice. Well, the legacy media did what the legacy media do, parrot, cover up. But the LA voters who supported Pratt, and even some who didn't, clamored for some kind of an investigation into this very suspicious, mathematically impossible occurrence. It's Skid Row. Like I said, their big priority when they get up in the afternoon, or whatever time of day or night they get up, is where they're going to get their next fix from. Not if I can get my vote cast. These people are not even being creative anymore. They're not even trying. LA mayor's race may not be as dire for Republicans backing Spencer Pratt as we thought. The Democrat Socialist, read commies, candidate recently surpassed him for the coveted 2nd place slot on the GE ballot. Apparently, she's got some major connections with these homeless folks. Oh, yeah, they're loving it. Despite the nattering nabobs of the negative claiming nothing would happen Thursday, that serious investigation, well, now you're going to get it good and hard. Federal officers descended on Skid Row in downtown LA yesterday morning, part of a huge investigation into voter fraud in the LA mayoral election. 20 agents swooped in on the notoriously blighted area after homeless people living there claimed they had been paid cash to sign multiple registration forms, forge signatures, and fill out voter information ahead of the mayor's race. Well, ain't that nice? The FBI is looking into it. Here's one of Skid Row's residences explaining exactly what happened to her.
So who do you think these people are with the ballots? Are they like political?
They're working for political parties, yeah.
They are.
They are. That's obvious.
For like Democratic parties or who do
We
you
don't
think?
ask and they don't
You
tell.
don't ask and they don't tell?
But we know that they got to answer to somebody by what they said. Don't it up because it's not authentic. I don't want to have to scratch it out. And don't let your signature look like the other signature. Can you use your other hand or can you write with your foot or your nose? I'm serious.
They ask you to do that?
Yeah.
The ballots?
And I've done it just so I could get the money and add it up and get my Fetty advertising.
Yeah, so how many
But I
ballots?
had a monkey on my bed. Fetty's no joke.
How many ballots would you sign at once? Like
At least, like, if I was lucky, 4 or 5.
4 at a time?
or 5. It depends on everybody if they need to hurry up and get to business.
And they get you to vote for the same person.
No, they want us to vote for whatever the ballot is.
I've been propositioned with bank fraud, phone fraud, voter fraud, PayPal fraud. You name it. They've came at me every which way down here.
Ain't that nice? What a pleasant group of people. Hey, look, these folks are just trying to eke out a living, trying to find their next fix. But these scumball Democrats, commies, whatever they are, swooping into the neighborhoods, having them sign 4 or 5 ballots. Oh, yeah, very nice. Well, the FBI is not screwing around with you people anymore. The investigation's underway. Godspeed, FBI. Absolutely. All right. We mentioned it before when Danny mentioned her getting through the day with her blackout coffee. And I get through each and every single day with my blackout coffee because this is a company, folks, it's all about America. They work with local co-ops and American farmers to grow the best beans on the planet. They only roast your beans after you order, and they ship them out within 24 to 48 hours, which means you get a fresh roasted bag of coffee beans on your doorstep in less than a week. If you cannot roast your own beans, no problemo, mi amigo. They have offers, of course, for most of their most popular roasts. They will grind them for you. This little pull-down menu, and it says whole bean or ground. You can choose. Oh, yeah, it's new. It's cool. Now, look, I've invited you so many times. I hope you've taken me up on that offer. Just head over to Blackout Coffee. Use the link in our description. Pull that menu down. You'll see it there for Blackout Coffee. Try 1 bag. I recommend Pitch Black Espresso. It's my favorite. Huge, bold coffee flavor, never ever bitter, always full flavored, no matter which roast you pick. Try a bag. Give it a shot. You'll be back for more because it's just that good. They've got all kinds of fantastic flavored coffees, pods, instant, cold brew. It's all available there at Blackout Coffee. John Santos and his crew are just the best folks to deal with. They are a wonderful sponsor. We're very proud to have them as a part of this show. Thank you, John. Thank you, Blackout Coffee. Pull down our description. Use that link down there. Get yourself a bag. Check it out. And by the way, while you're there, look at their coffee subscriptions too, because that's a really cool idea. Oh my, oh my. Sad to say we have to do this, but a rather interesting article I found about how to save boys, heroes, from the woke mob. Danny says, don't be like Mike. Put that cup under the pot when you push start. Nice job, Mike. I'm telling you. When the woke mob starts doing things like tearing down statues of George Washington, Christopher Columbus, a lot more that was going on in 2020, you get pretty appalled by these so-called online lessons that your kids are being taught. So the writer of this article said, his child's teachers were submitting his then 8-year-old intellect. And so the writer started searching for things for him to read. So she looked on her local library shelves for good guys with 6-shooters and laser guns that she'd grown up with. Couldn't find any such heroes in the youth section. Few of the titles were upstairs among the adult fiction. Flipped through the Harry Potter books, the Hunger Games stuff, and more. Shook his head. I don't know, Dad. Says all these guys are dumb. Well, what do you mean? There's always some girl that has to think for the boy, he said. And that's great for girls, but I want a book where the boy hero isn't stupid and, where he does something cool. So the writer started to say Harry Potter was the main hero in the books. But before he spoke, he remembered that the girl characters in those Potter stories actually are the ones who do all the hard thinking. Swallowing all the advice I'd give later on men and women and realized he was right to want heroes that resonate with him. What about history? All those cool heroes from our history. A lot of books on those shelves, but every single one of them was extremely weak, and every single one of them was nothing but politically correct crap. He wound up looking at comic books, asked what American heroes they had talked about in school. Paul Revere, but he just rode some horse and shouted the British were coming. Do you know the British were marching out of Boston to take the people's guns? I asked. He looked at me and said, did you talk about the history shot of the shot heard round the world? He shook his head. Did you know that the British in Boston under General Thomas Gage actually seized Paul Revere's guns? And he said, no. Why? And I told him the whole story at bedtime that night. As I told the story, I realized a book needed to be written for his generation. Begin to research. This writer actually wrote a book called Cool Heroes for Boys, 20 True Tales of Adventure, an adventure-laden book where every story is about a 15-minute read, the ideal length for a bedtime story. And if you want to get it, it is available on Amazon. Again, it's called Cool Heroes for Boys, 20 True Tales of Adventures. And it is written by Frank Miniter, I guess. Wow. Sounds like a very cool book. And our boys and girls, but especially our boys, need heroes. Absolutely need heroes. And one of the folks you're probably not going to want to use as a hero would be Barack Hussein Obama, or his husband Mike, or Hillary Clinton. Exactly how petty are these people, folks? Seriously? Their remarks at the Obama Center ceremony showed exactly how petty they are. Yesterday, they had their big opening ceremony. Typical Obama fashion, long on the talk, Hollywood celebrities. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to any one of these folks talk for 3 hours? From the opening land acknowledgments, some of the pretentious Barack Obama remarks, he also noted the great response from the Trump team that the builder-in-chief, Trump, was cleaning up the mess left behind in D.C., on which Obama had, of course, under-delivered. But the Obamas are nothing if not unhappy, snippy, snipey little people. And they proved exactly that in the little subtle shots they tried taking without actually naming the president. Obviously, Donald Trump lives rent-free in these people's homes and in their heads. Here's a little shade throwing from Obama. But out of the fire and steel of a revolution, a different story took flight on this continent, a declaration that we're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that in the newly independent United States there will be no kings or lower, no serfs or subjects, but only citizens. That's Obama's little cheap shot. Yeah. So, I'm not sure if you've looked around lately, Barack, but we don't have a king. No matter how much Democrats act as if we do, we don't. Or cry fascist, trying to whip people up against Trump and his administration. Michelle, she was a little less subtle, actually. When Michael made a reference to her husband's achievements, including a peace prize, she praised her husband for ending a war, ordering the bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, and winning a peace prize. You can hear Hillary cackling loudly and see Obama laughing next to her. But honestly, that's more of a comment on them. Obama didn't do anything to earn that peace prize. Come on. Everybody knows that. In fact, he started a lot of conflicts, including military action in Libya for 8 months. Can you imagine how hard you'd have to search for any achievements to cite on that? Other stuff on the list of achievements, which are at best questionable. Now, Michelle did it just to throw shade at Trump. I'm sorry, did I say Michelle? I meant Michael. Trump's gotten the results, helped to stop multiple conflicts if he gets the prize or not. He has got the results that Barack Hussein Obama does not have. Hillary, I tell you every time we talk to you or about you, girl, you will never be president. Did you hear me that time? No matter how jealous you are of old Don Don, you can cackle till the cows come home, and you will still be the unhappy little witch from hell character that you have always been and you will always be. Michael went on to discuss the importance of the dreamers, that they are America, failing to see the humanity that puts us all at risk, she said. No. Failure to enforce immigration law is what really puts every single one of us at risk, babe. Michael apparently also missed the news about the dreamer who was arrested for alleged involvement in the terror plot against the UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House. Did you miss that one, lady? Pretending to be a lady? This is absolutely, for all three of them, the perfect example of exactly how petty this whole group of knuckleheads can be. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. They have had a mess in Florida. Florida man! No, it's not one of those kind of stories. This is serious. Florida in vitro fertilization. Their mix-up absolutely proves, that reproductive tech always puts the children last. The biggest loser is, of course, the baby, whose life was treated like some kind of commodity that you could just implant it or throw it away at adults' will. 6-month-old baby girl conceived via in vitro fertilization and accidentally implanted in the wrong womb will be raised by the woman who birthed her instead of the biological parents who commissioned her creation. A mutually devised custody agreement in Florida this week. The agreement, which was publicized on the 15th, just 3 or 4 days ago, confirmed that Stephen Mills and Tiffany Score will continue as the permanent custodial parents of the unnamed baby girl, despite not sharing any of her DNA. The decision comes months after the couple filed a lawsuit against the Fertility Center of Orlando when they learned the child Score, gestated for 9 months, was not their own. Score and Mills, white couple, used their own sperm and eggs to commission embryos in 2020, were shocked in December of 2025 when Score, that's their last name is Score, birthed a baby girl who was 100% South Asian. Tragically, while both Jane Doe and John Doe are racially Caucasian, Baby Doe displayed the physical appearance of a racially non-Caucasian child. Extensive DNA testing completed by a fertility facility because of this lawsuit confirmed that the baby belonged to an unnamed client who was the Fertility Center of Orlando's only other patient in March of 2020, when Score and Mills had the embryos created and frozen. By then, Mills and Score had not only birthed and cared for the baby girl for months, but they also, of course, had bonded with her. The only thing that is an absolute certain, as it was on the day our daughter was born, is that we will love and be this child's parents forever, they said in a statement. Now, after a bunch of deliberation, Mills, Score, the baby's biological parents, came to some sort of mutually devised custody agreement that confirms Mills and Score would raise the child as their own. Circuit Court Judge Margaret Schreiber said, "I'm glad the parties have reached an agreement while this child is relatively young." Insane. Look, I understand that the need for in vitro fertilization, but there needs to be some kind of a double, triple, quadruple check and balance, whatever thing going on. Because folks, these kind of mistakes can't happen. They just can't happen. These are the kind of problems that come up. And who loses in the end? The child, of course. The young infant who cannot stand up for him or herself and defend him or herself. It is the children that lose in these situations. We have to do better. We have got to do better. Danny on the Obamas and Hillary says the high school bullies that are jealous of the kid that works and gets good grades because they're not smart enough, so all they can do is bully him. Man, ain't that the truth. You know, that's kind of exactly like what I see these people as. Honestly, just a bunch of bullies. It's kind of what they do. just a bunch of little high school bullies. Not even high school. These would be like grammar school bullies, the worst kind. You know, the fat kid with the red hair and freckles. Oh, wait, that was me. I was a fat kid with red hair and freckles, but I was never a bully. Okay, one time I was a bully, and I got the FO part of that FA little equation. So we'll leave it at that, okay? Damn it! Japan has gone and done it again. Japanese people, please stop it. Please. You're just too damn creative and too damn cute for the rest of us folks on this planet. Please stop. Do you know what? Let me put it in here. Capybara. Okay, here we go. Hold on. You see that? You see that thing? That's a capybara. How cute are they? Look at that. They're so adorable. Look at the size of them. It's like a big rat or a big gopher. Anyway, that's what a capybara looks like. Okay? All right. So now you've seen one. In case you haven't been to Australia. Well, Japan has come up with capybara pudding. No, it's not made from capybaras. They jiggle. And it is absolutely incredible. Here is a Japanese capybara pudding. Watch.
これはさすがによう食べれん。大阪のおしゃれ女子が今注目するカピバラプリン。堀江にあるカフェで東京で話題のプリンが唯一味わえる。味は濃厚なチョコレート。可愛すぎていじめたくなるけど、食べる時の罪悪感すごいからみんなもぜひ味わってみて。これはさすがによう食べれん。大阪のおしゃれ女子が今注目するカピバラプリン。
Oh my God. That's a capybara pudding. They jiggle. And from the looks of it, it probably tastes really good too. So the next time maybe you happen to be in Japan, you can look out for a capybara pudding. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Doesn't look appetizing. I thought it did. I mean, it'd be kind of tough to cut into it because it's so cute, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of tasty looking. All right, we're closing it out a little early again tonight because it's Friday. I don't give a crap. And it's Friday, and I don't give a crap. So thank you very much for popping by this show. There is a follow button on Rumble. There is a subscribe button on YouTube. I would appreciate it if you would punch those buttons. It costs nothing. It's absolutely free, and it helps the show. We don't spam your inbox. There's also a thumbs up like on both different platforms. You can use that too. All of our great sponsors. If you happen to be feeling incredibly generous and you want to donate directly to help the show out, there's a PayPal link in the top of our description. Use that. Send us a little cash. We'd appreciate that very much. Or go to one of our sponsors and get yourself a great deal. It's the weekend. Spend it with someone you love. I will be back here on Monday for the Monday edition of the Jay Sheldon Show. Thanks, folks.